Namaste again. We will go through an entire series of yogs and conjunctions. We will start with Panch Mahapurush Yogs and we will start with Ruchak. What is Panch Mahapurush Yog? They are yogs formed by five planets, which is Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars. The five planets. Okay. Panch by itself means five. And this yoga formed with planet Mars. There are five of them. I'll have five episodes, one for each. This one is for Mars, and this yoga is called Ruchak. It's a Panch Mahapurush yoga, and it's called Ruchak. Please also note that Sun, Moon, Rahu, and Ketu do not form Panch Mahapurush yogas. So, what is Ruchak yoga? First of all, you have 12 ascendants with 12 zodiacs. The ascendants with Aries, Scorpio, and Capricorn, they form Ruchak Panch Mahapurush Yoga. So if you have a birth chart with, say, Gemini as your ascendant, this yoga does not apply to you. So only if your ascendant is Aries, Scorpio, or Capricorn, this yoga applies to you. Why is that? Fundamentally, we know that Mars, the Lord, is Aries, and Mars is the Lord of Aries and Scorpio, and Mars also is exalted in Capricorn. So basically, wherever Mars has a strong position, those particular birth charts can form this yoga. The other condition is, apart from it being Aries, Scorpio, and Capricorn, Mars should also be in cardinal houses. What are cardinal houses? Houses number 1, 4, 7, and 10. And it is best, the yoga is strongest when it sits in the 10th house. We'll see examples, so it'll get clearer. Of course, if it's in its own house, that is, in its own zodiac, 1 or 8, it's the best. I'll give some examples, it'll get very, very clear. So first of all, let's see the picture. This is the North Indian chart, this is the South Indian chart, and this is house number 1, 4, 7, 10. Here, let's assume that these numbers are the house numbers also. So this is house number 1, house number 4, house number 7, and house number 10. Let's assume this is an Aries ascendant by default. So Mars in 1, 4, 7, and 10, Mars in 1, 4, 7, and 10 is what will form the Ruchak Yoga, plus the ascendant should be 1, 8, or 10. Here ascendant is 1 by default. Here it should say 8, 1, or 10 when you actually draw your birth chart. We'll see specific examples. Let's first of all see what the yoga contains. So first, the Mars, as we know, is a very strong and a very dynamic planet. So by default, this yoga comes with a lot of strength, hard work, assertive behavior, positive winners, courage. And these kind of people could be chiefs, could be people who are leading, say, masses. They are people of like they could be leaders of a country, for example. They could be leaders of chief of armies, generals of armies, that kind of level. They would get property, name, fame very easily. Good things will come to them with a lot of ease. Material comforts would come to them with a lot of ease. And looks wise, they'll have dynamic personality. They will be good looking as a persona. They will have strong looks, compelling looks. So people like them, when they walk into the room, you will notice them. You will notice them. They will have a leadership style which will be very strong and which will be very commanding. They will also have a royal bearing. You would want to look up to these kind of people by default. That's the kind of personality these people will have. So if you look at all the 12 zodiacs, I've given all the Indian names and the English names. When your zodiac is either Aries, the ascendant, or it is Scorpio, or it is Capricorn, only then Ruchak will be applied. The rest, it doesn't work. So in the rest, for example, in Mithun, even though Mars sits in say 1, 4, 7, 10, even though Mars in its own house, even though if it is exalted, it doesn't matter. It will not be applicable. So this is a very special yoga, and it doesn't come very easily in Kundalini. It's very difficult yoga to find because it's very strong in itself. Let's take an example. This is a birth chart with ascendant 6. So with that itself, with ascendant 6 itself here, you can already say this does not form Ruchak Yoga, although Mars is here in the first house. So second condition is okay, but the first condition doesn't work. So this is not a Ruchak Yoga. Let's take another example. Let's see, Mars is here, so it's in the cardinal house. Cardinal house are 1, 4, 7, 10, so it's in the cardinal house. And also the ascendant is 8, 8 is Scorpio. So a combination of the ascendant plus the cardinal house, both are correct. So this particular birth chart does have Ruchak Yoga. So just look at an exercise, look at the birth chart of known people. You'll get them on the internet very, very easily. And if you know their date, birth and time, of course, you can enter and draw the charts. Check out how many world leaders have Ruchak Yoga. My guess is most leaders who come across as aggressive, who come across as very dynamic, would have Ruchak Yoga, especially political leaders. Even the combative ones will have this yoga. And you can of course check your own birth charts and your family birth charts and see if you have Ruchak Yoga. A teaser, is Ruchak Yoga always good? So all Panch Mahapurush Yoga are considered to be good. They come to people who have, they come with a lot of luck and goodness and everything and what have you. But imagine a dictator. He or she could also have a Panch Mahapurush Yoga. And that means that yoga has gone into wrong hands. So everything will apply there, but it will get used wrongly. So in that sense, it can be a dangerous thing, but most times this particular yoga has a background of or a backdrop of being good. It's got a positive connotation to it. A small quiz. Let us say you have a birth chart. Mars is in its own house. It's in either 1 or 8 zodiac in the birth chart. And the ascendant is Taurus. That means number 2. Will this person be eligible for Ruchak Yoga? The answer is no. Because only people with Aries, Scorpio and Capricorn can be applicable for Ruchak Yoga.